Scripts from President Trump's phone calls with foreign leaders have been leaked, and in them, the president seems to be going back on a big campaign promise. Our political analyst Jon Keller has more.
Good morning. Here's a question to get the juices flowing this morning. Do you expect politicians to keep their promises? And do you care when they don't? Broken promises are a bipartisan phenomenon, but the latest one in the news is a real conversation starter.
We will build the wall 100%.
No Trump campaign promise was made so often and so emphatically. But we now know that in a phone conversation last winter with Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto, President Trump proposes language both leaders could use to give him wiggle room to break that promise. Let's just say we are, quote, working it out, he tells the Mexican president, adding, quote, this is the least important thing that we're talking about, but politically, this might be the most important, end quote. So let's recap. The candidate encourages voters to believe he'll do something concrete, no pun intended. He vows to do it over and over again, and he insists Mexico will pay for it. But once elected in private, he concedes it won't be happening that way, but pleads with his counterpart to give him a fig leaf. So back to our question. Does this bother you when Mr. Trump does it or when other Pauls do it? Like when President Obama promised repeatedly and falsely that under Obamacare, quote, if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. Perhaps you're one of those cynics who assume that if a politician's lips are moving, they're lying. But it's apparent that many thousands of voters cheering these statements on at rallies and endorsing them in polls do believe the promises, and they have my deepest sympathy. Talk back to me via email at keller@wbz-tv.com or use Twitter @KellerAtLarge.